One of the hardest things to do in math is to know what operation to use in a word problem. Do you add, do you multiply, do you divide, do you subtract? So today we're going to look at when do you multiply in a word problem. So first, let's take a look at what is the definition of multiplication. Multiplication means that you're taking equal groups and you're combining equal groups to find a total. So you're taking equal groups and you're putting equal groups together to get a total. So therefore, the first thing you want to look at when you're looking at a word problem is, do you have a total? Because if you have a total, that means you're either dividing or subtracting. Now, if you don't have a total, then you're either adding or multiplying, which is very, very important when we go back to talk about equal groups. Because if you don't have equal groups, that means you're adding. So let's look a little closer at that definition. You're taking equal groups. You're combining those equal groups to find a total. Now, knowing what we know about a total, that means the first thing you should always ask when you're looking at a word problem is, do I have a total? That's the first thing you should always ask yourself. Also, the second thing you should ask yourself is, do you have equal groups? Because if you have a total and you have equal groups, that means you are multiplying. Now, there are some keywords that are going to help you find out, do you have a total? Altogether, sum. Also, too, let's use common sense. If you are not getting any more, that means this person's not getting any more afterwards. That means you have a total. Now, if you don't know how much you're ending, or you don't know your sum, you don't know your total, you don't have a total. Also, too, there's some keywords to find out whether you're multiplying or not, or you have equal groups. I like to call these fair share words. Words like per, each, every, always. That means those things are equal. You have fair shares. You have equal groups. So if you have a total and you have equal groups, that means you're using multiplication. So let's look at a sample problem here. This sample problem says a plane is flying over a mountain. The mountain is 5,230 feet high. The plane is flying at a height 6 times the height of the mountain. How high is the plane flying? Well, when we look closer at this problem right here, we don't have a total. I know how high the mountain is, but I do not know how high the plane is flying. Also, too, if the plane is flying at a height that's 6 times the height of the mountain, that means that the plane's going to be higher than the mountain is. So therefore, I know I don't have a total because the plane is going to be flying higher than the mountain. Now, also, too, I'm looking for an equality word. I see times there. It's 6 times. That means I have 6 equal groups of 5,230. So in this problem right here, I'm going to see I do not have a total. I have 5,230, and I'm multiplying that 6 times to see the final total of how high the plane is flying. So to sum this lesson up, first of all, let's do a recap. When we're looking at multiplication, that means we're taking equal groups and combining them to find a total. Equal groups, combining them to find the total. First thing you're going to look for in the word problem, do you have a total? Second thing you're looking for, equal groups. Do you see each, per, times? Some of those equal groups or fair share words in there. Once you have that, then you know you're multiplying. Once you know you're multiplying, then you got to use the right computations to get the right answer. Mr. Holloway, signing off. See you on another lesson.